Oh, hello, hello, hello. Oh no. Hello, hello, hello. Let's try that again. Yeah, good week off, thank you. It's been good. Back to it. Just had some nice, lovely, jubbly, like, Pokemon times. Um, yeah, we, like, met up with Karl and another friend of ours and just, like, had some fun going and watching the Pokemon regional tournaments in Liverpool this weekend. We've got Echo now. Oh no. How have we got Echo? Oh, okay. I was looking at the wrong input device. Um, Mute that. There we go. That should be better. I was looking at audio input capture that had nothing on it, but the mic down there had something on it. I was looking at the wrong thing. So we should all be good. Yeah. But yes, just enjoyed, watching some Pokemon tournaments happen. Got some fun merch and stuff like that. It was fun. But, guys, I'm blanketing up today. It's cold in the house, and I didn't want to move. I was just like, it's cold. Actually, let me message Karl. Live. We be in Tachanka. I know Karl likes us Tachanka. We'll see if Karl wants to get in. But regardless, I'm like, eh. Hey, you started college today. How's it been? Let's get the sausages. It's like I'm trying to put the blanket on, but like every time I need to do anything, it's like I need to be out of the blanket. If only there was a way. If only like this was a slanket. I think it's a slanket, right? Where it's like got the sleeves in, like the sleeve blanket. Alright, let's get some Cades in. While we do that, so we get those counters back. Cool. Grab Karl. While we got the sausages up. Are we in?
Should be, yes. Hello.
There we go. Karl is not underwater. He's just not on a professional microphone. That's all. Don't all come at us in chat.
On a phone. I said one word and already what? He's on the water.
No, I just know that it's coming. I know that it's coming. I'm like getting ahead of it.
So I'm just trying to relax because I'm very tired. I was up very early this morning. I've done a lot of travelling, a lot of recording.
Yeah, it's been a busy weekend of like traveling up and down to Liverpool and like waking up early to watch Pokemon tournaments and shit. Like,
So I've just got up, doing good. Gonna get a cup of tea.
does that mean that you want the stream from me, or are you just gonna watch along with the little bit of delay?
I'll watch it along on my other thing, yeah.
Yeah.
On my laptop. Cup of tea in the other room at the moment.
Yeah, I figured you might. Just means I can get that up there, and then we should be good. But we're on Tachanka, remember, Karl?
Oh, Max Chonk, I want to see his mission. Can't speak just yet to get my tea, but hot damn, yeah.
Oh, he's definitely underwater now, though. I don't know what. He ran away.
Get him the right soon or put him down.
The right?
You know what's wrong with him. What he needs?
There's nothing wrong with him. Just go speak to the clan leader.
Oh, no.
What's up?
Just like the idea of like what's the non-tiny warhammers? Are the big warhammers? Is it the big ones that, like? Cause I always thought it was just the minifigs that you paint. But I again, I'm no exposure to Warhammer really.
Yeah, so all we know something works for the company.
Take
Right?
your
Like that.
business to the clan.
Yeah, but it's
and
not
keep
like
your
he
running
sits
tight
there
on a
and
short
like
leash. Get
tells
him
us
the right
all
suit or
about
put him
every
down.
figure that he's got and how whether he painted them or not.
Do
He
you know
knows
why
that
he
we're
does
not
that?
that interested in. It's like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's Warhammer.
All of them, we realise that very few people actually give a shit.
It's like he doesn't. You know, he's got lots of Warhammers, but he just doesn't shove it down his throat. It's just like, oh, cool. I see them all around his like house and stuff.
Like,
Yeah, but that's the thing. I've not really looked into like what figures you get that aren't painted and stuff. Like,
well,
Just let
technically
me
you pay
by.
them all,
I
can't you?
have business to take care
well,
of.
technically you can pay it anything you want. Yeah. So the right is basically, you know, it's almost like
Damn right. Tear their scales off.
you know, a right. It's like a rite of passage to become like a proper, quote unquote adult. I guess Grunt's like not an adult, but he is.
Good. Talk to
You're
Scout
fully
Captain or
grown,
Chief.
so
Either one
like
acceptable.
that's the different thing, innit?
Yeah, he's a baby because he's just come out of like his birthing pod, but he's like a baby in an adult's body basically.
You see that special
So he's like a Warhammer fan.
That crap rots your brain. You should be
It's like, you know, we just spent a weekend at a Pokemon tournament. We know we're not baby. We know what babies in like adult bodies are.
You don't want anything I sell, human.
So I will say, like, shout out to all those people who just pointed their fingers directly in my face and said, "Who? Like, I know you," instead of like, you know, just not doing that.
I found it really funny because it was like, oh, I saw like a TikTok today and it's like, is Urshifu like Rapid Strike dead in the water? Normally it sees a much bigger usage at tournaments, but at the Liverpool regional tournament, it had a lower usage rate than usual. And I was like, the two guys in the final both had Urshifu Rapid Strike, and it was like, well, turns out maybe not, because the guy who had the tournament like victory had an Urshifu Rapid Strike. It's like, yeah, like stop being like, oh, is Urshifu dead because slightly less people used him this weekend? It's like the guys who won the tournament both had Urshifu.
Stay.
Yeah. It's the downplay, isn't it?
It's just like, I guess it's like really hard to try and make drama out of a competitive scene when there's been like no new additions or changes. And you're like, every tournament you've got to make like the drama video of what happened that weekend.
Oh, you got to like which downplay? The downplay is real.
What do you have in stock?
You're like, oh, maybe this one's not as good as you think it is. Or
Calls a local
like, oh, we've
favorite.
got a hard counter. It's like, we've not got a hard counter, really. Is it? Just people know you're going to pick it, so.
Call hits aliens like ground
So yeah, shout out the
Otherwise, I've got
2 hours
weapons,
on
scrap,
the bus
and
back
whatever
and
fools
forth.
those
College does
pie
not
jocks
sound
don't
fun.
steal.
Like, glad to say
Thank
that
you
you're
very
going in.
Take a look at my kiosk
Definitely
over
understand
there
that
if
you
wanna
can't
buy
stay
something.
for too long if that's the case. It's like one of those that I remember back in the day when like it was that classic thing of like when I was on Job Seekers and they were like, you've got to look for a job within like X amount of radius, and it was like, yeah, it was 2 hour commute there and 2 hours commute back, and they're like, yeah, that's within reasonable range, take the job.
It's like, spoilers, you're not getting a job when it's like 2.5 hours away.
Well, I did get a job 2 hours away, and they were like, yeah, take it, because like it's within like the 90-mile radius or whatever that they tell you to go for. It's just the public transport routes though were horrible, so I had to get like 3 buses, and they were like, yeah, well, we're not going to give you Job Seekers now that you've had that job offer. It's like, you've got to take the job. That great, cool.
What the hell is a pie jack?
What the hell is a pie jack?
Humans say they're like monkeys. They come in and steal food, call, whatever they can get their
I don't know what
on.
Rincol is,
We started using them.
but like a monkey's coming in and stealing like medicine or something.
Sounds about right.
Imagine that,
should
like, oh,
go.
the rats have come in. It's like, what have they stolen? It's like, all my paracetamol. Like, all of my prescription drugs are gone because the rats took them. But they're not interested in the cheese in your fridge. It's like, no, just the prescription medicine. It would be rough as fuck. I love that. The death mask increases negotiation bonus points by 10.
You imagine it's a lot easier to negotiate with someone when you just got a gun pointed at them.
But the thing is, like, 10%, like, I think something called the death mask should probably intimidate people more than, like, 10%.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah, we've got loads of credit. Just, do you reckon it's a good or a bad feeling as a shop owner when someone just comes in and buys your entire shop's worth of stock?
Does it make things easier?
Yeah, but on the other hand, then you've got to just look like an asshole with like a shop open with nothing in it.
I must have. This
Must be very
is the great
satisfying
Krogan homeworld.
to know you've done.
This
Yeah,
is the
imagine
land
that.
of
Like,
Greta,
this is the
Shock,
Krogan
Viola.
homeworld I've been told about.
This chunk of rock is barely
Like
worth
this
standing
piece
on.
of shit.
Never thought I'd
Just,
miss the tank.
Because obviously when he was bred in the tank, he had that like overlord preaching to him constantly and telling him like about the great Krogan homeworld and the great prowess of the Krogan and all that. And he gets here and it's like, really? This is it?
Put down some real money, human.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm not betting on this. No! Oh no!
I'm like a second behind and I can just see you betting and gambling.
Is that... I didn't want to bet or watch the dogfight. I forgot that it was like, oh yeah, just a Varan dogfight.
Watch it, human.
It's like Lucas has become a gambling streamer.
Yeah, speaking of transport, actually,
Reeve said we weren't
I
allowed
will
to
have to
kill
keep an
you.
eye out because I've
Seems
seen
like
that
a
there's
waste
like
of
some
target
strikes
practice.
happening this
What do
weekend.
you want?
Oh, there's so many. Yeah, like I
It's
can't
like-
go home and see my mum for my birthday.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like,
Oh yeah, mum, I'll come
I'm
on Wednesday.
hoping that I
Like,
can come for your birthday, but it's like I'll have to keep an eye on strikes.
It's like, mum, I'll come home for my birthday on Wednesday. It's like, if I manage to get a lift home on the Thursday day,
Hmm.
I'm looking
it's like
for
as
a
long as I
Solarian.
get back on
The
Wednesday,
blood
there's not a
pack
single
captured him
train
and he
going
was
home on
last
Wednesday.
seen around here.
I heard about that Solarian.
It's like, great, so I can't see my mum for my
If it's
birthday,
blood
thanks.
pack,
Cheers.
then Clan Weirlock has him. Sent one of my scouts to check it out, but he never reported back. Guess they got
That proper
him
makes me
too.
feel good.
Chief told me to give you one of the trucks. Just follow the highway to Weirlock's base. If
I'm
he
not
gets
gonna
it
make
once,
this
they'll deal
political,
with him
but
in the
also-
blood pack.
If you like the Tories, it's like, well, you've immediately made things politically. Do we want to do Grunt's loyalty mission first, or
Yeah, do
What's his
Grunt.
name?
Well, that's easy enough. It's right there, isn't it?
what's his name? Morden, is it Morden the Solarian?
Do Grunts first, so Morden can learn more about the.
Okay. I better go. Just
Thanks for the
thank you.
information.
Anything that gets rid of the damn off-worlders. You can take the truck over there. You need anything else?
Yeah, it's
Talk
that's
to
how
you
shit
later.
like just jobs can be sometimes. Like the
Eyes
our
straight
public
ahead.
transport is like so expensive that it's like,
Give me a reason.
oh cool, well I could like take this actual like, you know, good job, but also the public transport is like so
Don't touch
fucking
anything.
expensive in this country that like sometimes you literally just can't. Obviously,
Pretty much, yeah.
like sometimes I think that's what happened to me once. Like, yeah, it wasn't even a good job, it was just like a retail job, and like I literally couldn't have afforded the buses back and forth for the first like couple of weeks, and my dad just had to give me some money, and it's like, if he couldn't have afforded that, well, fuck you, don't get a job.
Do I look like I have time to talk? I've got work to do.
Those fools brought this Tomka back from a skirmish without its
It's like,
combustion
okay, well,
manifold.
what are
They say
like,
it got shot off
you
in
know,
the
in my
field.
situation,
You
I was
tell me,
literally like
how can you expect a
jobless
Tomka
at the
to run
time, and they're
without a
like,
combustion
yeah, but
manifold?
you should just be able to have 100 quid spare for like 2 weeks worth of your first bit of like, you know, work before you ever get paid. So, but where have I got 100 quid from when I've not been paid? Yeah. Good old Tomka truck. It's a weird thing of like, I remembered like Tonka trucks mainly from that, like, I don't think it was in the video, but I think you've mentioned like the fact fiend video before of like the Tonka truck where they like got an elephant to stand on it to prove how tough it was.
Yeah. Yeah, Tonka stuff.
And then, like,
Any idea where
we
I
were
can
just
find
looking
a
at dog
combustion
toys, and
manifold?
Jenna was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I've
I
heard
can
these
make one.
Tonka
Give me
dog
3
toys are
days
meant
and
to
a
be really
barrel of
good."
ring coal. The one they lost is
And
probably
it's like,
still out in the
is
field.
like
It's too much
Tonka,
to
as in
expect
the
them to
Tonka
collect it and
truck
bring the
company?
damn
It's
thing
like
back.
they make tough toys. I guess they make tough dog toys too. Like, it makes sense.
I guess it does, yeah. It's like the
Let me get out
branding
of
is
your
known for
way.
like one thing.
Don't do me any favors.
It's like when you're good at one thing, and it's just making things that
Things
don't
would
fucking
last
break.
longer if they didn't hit every crater.
I used to love my Tonka truck. I wish I still had it. It was awesome. You just throw it downstairs and
Programs hit
everything.
by genophage, nuclear assaults, civil
It was like
wars,
completely indestructible.
still survive.
Yeah, no thanks to you. Or anyone else.
Impressive to see life adapt, continue despite circumstances. Inspiring.
Your character dancing, just chilling.
I'll take it.
Oh my god. Ugh. Just when it's like squad bonus plus 50% biotic damage, and it's like nearly all of the credits I've got, but it's like really good upgrade.
I think the thing you learn very quickly in games like this is just like money doesn't fucking matter. It's like just spend everything you get when you get it.
Well, the thing is, it's like there's a squad. I can afford one squad bonus if I get the bio amp upgrade. But it's a solid plus 50% biotic damage. Or I could get 10% for shotguns and 30% for heavy pistol. For my entire squad as well. It's like, do we go for the biotic damage and spend like 3/4 of my money, or do we get heavy pistol and shotgun?
That is fair.
Not everyone has biotic powers. Gonna go for the crit,
Oh, what's this?
the pistol and shotgun upgrades.
Yeah, because like everyone uses a pistol.
I want to punch a pie, Jack. Last thing is, you know, maybe when you're a Krogan you would, but if I saw that and that was considered vermin, it's like nearly it's like the entire size of like Shepard's torso.
Also,
and
it looks kind of
that
cute.
thing's just gonna like come in and steal you like your food and whatever Rykol is, and it's like I guess you just don't
Should you be in here?
want to fuck with something that big, but a Krogan probably doesn't care.
Who are you?
I am
To a Krogan, that's probably like, you
You're
know,
a high
pigeon to us.
researcher in matters scientific for Clan Erdnot, and I don't have time to answer your inane
Yeah,
questions.
the Powell thing is, like, I get what people mean when it's like, oh look, these like there are elements that are just entirely ripped from Pokemon, or there are like, for example, I think it's like the Cinderace one where it's like, no, this is the exact same body dimensions if you go and take it into a 3D model tracker as Cinderace. And it's like, for them to be that one-to-one is like very suspicious. Where I don't get it is when people are like, well, Powell's like a better Pokemon game. It's like, it's Ark Survival Evolved with shit Pokemon in it.
Yeah, it's like one thing to say it looks similar. It's like people are like going like, oh, what can Pokemon
How many
learn from
humans
it?
does
Like
the clan
nothing, because
leader
they
allow
own the
to
single
walk
most
freely
valuable
among
piece
the
of intellectual
Erdnot?
property on planet
very
Earth.
And
many.
also, it's just not
Like,
a
That begs the
Pokemon game.
question of why you are
It's a
It's like, give
survival
Power,
game.
like,
Earned the right to walk
give
among
Power
you.
30 years,
Wanna see how
so
I
you'll still
did
give a shit.
Oh, very well.
Give
But
Palworld
if you
like
get in the way
30
of my
days and
research,
see
I
if
will
people
see
still
you
give a shit.
ejected.
That's the thing, the moment all this controversy dies down, how many people are actually going to care about that game?
Well, I don't know, it's already my game of the year, to be fair. Tekken 8 came out, but I'm like, man, Palworld.
Man, I really like slowly punching a tree to gather resources.
I just saw one gameplay clip and went, fuck this.
I
If
played
this
I
sold
played a
8
couple of
million
hours
copies,
so that I could talk about it, because I inevitably knew the conversation would come up, and it's like, it's just
I
a
can't believe it
boring
came up the
survival game with Pokemon.
You said that, and within 5 minutes of streaming, it already came up. I'm like, Lucas, you called it.
Yeah. And like that's the thing, is the talk of the town at the moment, isn't it? And I, especially for me, who like literally plays Pokemon on stream and stuff. So
You must
what
be
are
working
you
on something
researching?
important.
I am. There are always new ways to destroy things, to melt them, to tear them apart.
Yeah.
There's always room
Like the thing
for
is,
another weapon
it's
to
like I
jump
had
at.
my time where
Enjoy
I
your
got really into
research.
Minecraft.
Oh, I do.
And from that point onwards, it's like, okay, cool. But I did my couple of years in like survival mode on Minecraft, playing a survival game, like slowly building up resources and a base and all that. And like, you know, I had my fun. I played online with friends, you know, we had a server together. It was a good time, but now I don't want that experience again. I don't want to go and find another survival game to start all that process entirely over. I don't play Minecraft anymore. I got bored of like survival games. So yeah, just Palworld is not for me, and the pals are not enough of a draw even as a Pokemon fan to like even consider playing it.
Which is one of those weird things, though, 'cause, like, the pals just look shit.
They just look like worse Pokemon. It's similar to like Digimon, of like, I don't care what came first, a lot of Digimon just don't look as good as Pokemon do. And there are some bad Pokemon, but I argue the ratio of good to bad Pokemon is way better than like any other game or any other franchise I've seen. Like most of Digimon I have no affinity for, and there are like some that I like, whereas I have an affinity for over half of the Pokemon that are out there.
You can just say Finneon.
I love me some Finneon.
Absolutely fucking love Finneon.
Just give me a reason.
I've not played Monster Rancher, but again, I've looked at some Monster Rancher designs and gone like, okay, but they're not Pokemon.
Are you threatening me?
And it's like, it's not to say that nothing could ever, you know, not have better designs, but A, Pokemon have just had a pretty good, like, solid foundation to build off with the first game.
We'll never forgive you.
B, I've also just got nostalgia for Pokemon, so inevitably I'm gonna care more about them.
Go away, alien. I talk to no one about our rights unless
That's always the thing, like the value that like just you get from nostalgia. It's like how many times it's like just every year. It's like, oh, is this like, what do we have, like, what, 10 straight years? Is this the Halo killer? Is this the Halo killer? It's like, well, even if it's really hard to get me to not like Halo. It took Halo 4 games to get me to not like Halo.
Yeah. So this is the sad part where it's like, in Mass Effect,
You are Shepard.
this
We would have
Reeve
shot any
character
other
here,
alien out of the sky.
if you don't
But you,
kill Rex in Mass
with
Effect
the
1,
respect due
Rex is
He's
the
just
clan
Rex.
leader.
You destroyed
And this is like the
your wire.
extent of like the
You
3
saved
game
us from
arc.
becoming
It's like,
Saren's
yeah, okay.
minions. But you also destroyed a cure to the genophage. But more than that, you killed Erdnot Rex.
I didn't. The
Leader
fucking
Erdnot
bitch Ashley
Reeve.
did. And then I
Rex
let
was
her
my
die.
brother.
I chose for her to die immediately after in response.
She got her comeuppance, yeah.
It wasn't one of my greatest regrets. It was one of my greatest regrets that I let Ashley murder him.
I wish there'd been another way. He was a valued member of my crew.
Human sentiment tastes like piss. Don't spoil a death with it. Especially one as useful as this. With his death, Rex's friends became my friends, and Clan Erdnot fell to me.
Game's geek as shit. Okay, it's full throne now.
He had troubling ideas. We are better off with a leader who respects tradition.
Yeah, because
You can't speak
Rex
for
in the
me,
game
Uwe. So,
is like
Shepard, what do you want here?
has the idea of like, you know what, we should get rid of clans. We are already a struggling race, and our planet is falling apart. We should all work together as one team and like stop all this petty squabbling. We need to pull together as Krogans. And now that Rex is dead, instead it's like this Reeve, not instead, who's like, we need to respect traditions and none of this, like, you know, troubling ideas from Rex of working together.
Those troubling ideas from Rex are the thing that would save our race. Got it.
How many members are in your clan?
But yeah,
Don't
like, that's the
let
thing
this
is,
border
it's so
camp
funny
fool
when
you. We are
people,
many.
like,
The
so
bulk
many
of
people
our
seem to
forces
want
are in the
to
main settlement,
not
and the
admit
females
that
have their
nostalgia
own
is part
clan.
of their enjoyment
You
of something.
won't see any of it.
I'm like, no, it just so happens that the thing that is objectively the best is the thing I played as a child. It's got nothing to do with nostalgia.
It's always the classic, isn't it? It's like, just to have like all the best music and stuff that I listened to when I was a kid.
It just so happens that like the best Pokemon game was the one that everyone played when they were 10.
Say like the best Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty is the funniest because like every time there's a new Call of Duty, people's like, oh, the last one's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's just the one you had the most time to play. So when you were in high school and you like, you know, didn't have to like fucking go to work and have a
Ever see
job.
female Krogan?
You never will. They have their own camps, their own guards. We have an envoy from the females in the camp right now.
Like,
Name's
it's
Nator.
okay to
He
admit
can decide what to
that
tell you about the
nostalgia plays a
females.
big part in people's enjoyment. Like, it's baffling to me that people will sit there and be like, no, that's got nothing to do with it. I don't care that, like, it was my first Pokemon game. That was just objectively the best one and there's no conversation. He's like, okay, sure.
Isn't it weird though, everyone you talk to who disagrees, it's the thing that they like when they were 14.
I heard the Blood Pack brought a Solarian
Isn't
here.
that weird?
Know anything about that?
Blood Pack? I don't follow the mercenary bands. My scout commander might know something I don't.
And all you do is just get that one picture of like the planes from World War II, all the bullet holes in it.
Oh,
Like,
the like
why is it all the
survivor
music?
bias thing.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, what are the, like all the best ones?
Wait,
Like,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, survivorship bias. Like, ooh,
Oh,
it's,
right.
like, it's weird how like the 80s had all the best music. It's like, no, it's just all the shit music doesn't get remembered because it was shit.
Right, I see what you mean now. Yeah, making that link of like all of the music that you still listen to from the 80s is just the highlights of the 80s music. Like, it's not that music was better back then, it's just that you don't listen to all the shit anymore.
Like, go listen to Angel Witch.
The fuck
And then
is
number
Angel
one,
Witch?
and then the band from the 80s, and then like, you know, their
Krogan on my
number
crew. He has
85
some kind
hit,
of
the only
sickness and
song that
needs
ever got
treatment.
charting, called Angel Witch.
Fair enough.
This Krogan smells like a juvenile. Was this clan destroyed before it was taught how to live?
I have no clan. I was tank bred by the.
If you hear anything in the
warlord
background, it's just me
here.
practicing some Rainer
My line
combos.
is
1
still
second.
Kredok.
I will main
Schlager,
just
Turg,
bayonet a girl.
Violetta.
You are the offspring of a syringe, not.
Just hey Hachi's dance woman, let's go.
I am pure Krogan. You should be in awe.
I mean, if you ask me, Ross, like all
You
the
are the
Britpop was the
product
crap
of
Britpop.
Okeer?
It's like I just don't like any of
He
it.
is
really.
dead.
Like
Most
that's
of it's terrible.
just a matter
It
of
is good.
you know taste. Like,
Influential.
it's not for me.
But most of it sucks, and most of the bands from it also sucked.
And also, you know what people consider Britpop, it wildly differs from person to person when you ask.
Yeah, I do think that the worst era of music is like, I don't
don't
know
you
how
care
to
about
describe
Okeer?
it, but it's whatever
This
the
is
fuck
about
the
Grunt.
Pigeon Detectives were.
He thinks a link to Okeer could be worth allowing this.
To join Pigeon, but there was like all those like the Pigeon Detectives, like the
Puberty ritual, common among
There's like a
species with
bunch of bands that were
hormone-driven
like the
reproductive
Kaiser. I think it
disorder.
started with the
So
Kaiser
infirm, he's
Chiefs,
becoming an adult.
Right.
then Arctic
He must
Monkeys.
face the rite of passage.
I feel like
not allow this.
Arctic
You
Monkeys
risk
definitely
your
like
status, Reeve. Your
got
clan.
out of that group though. Like they did evolve the genre like a bit over the years. Like
Do you wish to become Erd Not Grunt?
The more modern one, like AM, I think it was. He's like, that sounds a lot different than like, you look good on the dance floor and shit like that.
Yeah.
You wish to become Erd Not Grunt. It's like, I guess he does, but I would have preferred it if Rex was in charge.
We didn't come all this way
So
from
also, I
nothing.
didn't realize like Erdnot's not his name; it's a title.
It's like a family name because he's in a clan, yeah. It's similar to a family name.
My blood
They
demands
become
this.
Not when
Then
they're doing
speak
this.
with the shaman. Seek him here and prepare yourself.
So he's just
It was
lucky and
well
what it tests your
shepherded.
DNA. Oh, your
Grunt
DNA is
is
perfect.
your
You win.
crew. You were part of this.
Yeah, Oasis are just... It's like... It's baffling to me that Oasis became... Like, I don't know whether they were, like, world famous or they were just, like, the biggest shit in the UK. But the
Not
fact
like
that
world famous.
they made, like, either of those things happen is ridiculous to me.
I always liked as well. They always had like the reputation of being like the bad boys, and it's just like they're just like prick.
Yeah, the two knobhead man-children who can't get on with each other.
It is very funny that they keep fighting each other.
I'll never back down.
Just,
Then
yeah, bad boys. No, they're just dickheads.
You go beyond yourself, Gatatog Uvank.
Pretentious
The rights of Urdnot
assholes.
are dominant. How do we know it will challenge
Yeah, the
him?
Pigeon Detectives
He's
is a great name.
unnatural. The beasts of the right could
Great
ignore
name
him
with
like
terrible
level
band.
Yeah,
plastic.
terrible band, but great
Ain't
name.
no blood, no matter the womb. Your barking does not help your case. I'll speak
It's like
for
British
myself.
music is really good, but like
This
there's
is
just
the
that
tank
one
bread.
era where like man,
It is very lifelike.
like I think that
Smells
like
correct as
Kaiser
well.
Chiefs and all that, but I hated that
Protest
era.
ring hollow, Uvank.
Like, there's very little of that era that I used to listen to that I still do listen to.
Yeah,
Like, there might be an occasional like Arctic Monkeys song or something, but most of those albums that I used to have like favorited on my iPod back in the day, that I'd never touch those bands anymore. Like, there's that side of it anyway. Like, the stuff that was modern at the time. It's like, a lot of the stuff that I still listen to, I used to listen to, like the MCRs and Fall Out Boy and Red Hot Chili Peppers and Foo Fighters and stuff, but like specifically that side of things, like all like the Pigeon Detectives and the Wombats and the
God, the
Kaiser
Zoo
Chiefs and the
songs.
Killers and
Remember we did like the live event and just like people coming up like I want to like play the rock band Zootons. I'm like fucking hell, okay. I guess it takes all sorts.
It does indeed. I like this, that all of them are like, this Krogan smells correct.
I don't like the Krogans are sniffing each other. It's really
Not
uncomfortable.
fighting over this nonsense. Grunt's ready. Let's get to it.
I like your dismissal of our rituals even
Like
less
just
than
Krogans
Uvank's
getting each other a nice
challenges.
sniff.
And
Still.
my word
Sniffy,
determines
sniffy.
whether the right will proceed. If this must stand on ritual, then I invoke a denial. My Krantz stands
Yeah, I
against
think
him.
I had a
He has
similar
no one.
thing,
My patience is tested. but
like
Uvank
we
invokes
mentioned in that
correctly.
Napster video. Right?
Grunt,
I had a
who is
similar
your
thing with like
Krant?
LimeWire
Your
being my
allies
one
willing
that
to
helped me,
kill and die on your behalf.
pirate and then discover a bunch of music when I was like 12. I don't think I ever used Napster. I think it was like dead by the time I knew how to like torrent shit.
Yeah. There's all the things that came about as a result of it though.
Yeah, there's like, that thing is, Napster was, I presume, the originator, but that opened up the gates for fucking ShareBear and LimeWire and FrostWire and all that shit.
It's like, yes, we all used it when we were 14 and didn't have jobs.
How is a candidate
And of
tested if
course,
he
we
brings
almost
backup
immediately
on
got
his rite of
people like, well, if
passage?
it's not available in my country, I don't feel bad about stealing it. It's like, that's exactly what we say. Like, we don't care that you do, stop fucking telling us. They can't help it.
No,
People
they
can
can't.
never help themselves. They have to justify it to themselves. Like, there's no justification. Just like I said at the end of the video, there's no justification for it. You just wanted it and you didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
The valid reason, but it's not one that I respect. So why tell me it?
It's like, I don't give a shit if you do, just don't tell me that it's a defendable position to be in.
Hello, content creator. I like to steal content. I fundamentally do not respect the creators' vision or
We stand
right
with
to
Grunt as shipmates and
control
comrades.
how and where their content is
Shipmates are not the same
consumed.
thing. But I grant you aliens your simple interpretation.
So I never forget when like
Aliens
someone
don't
legit
know
was trying to
strength.
argue to me about, well, I think
My
like, you know,
followers are true
video
forever.
games, if you can't like
Everything about Grunt is a
10
lie.
years after they're made, they should become public domain. I'm like, well, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Not even like life of the author then, is it? It's like,
You.
I love that.
like,
Just,
that's just,
like, this dickhead was
I like
talking
this
shit about
human.
Grunt, and
She
Shepard's just,
understands.
I'm gonna fucking
I withdraw
headbutt
my
this,
denial.
this Rogan.
This will be
the thing is, I love that you can just headbutt the Krogan and it's like, it don't work.
Well,
Like, it
the
doesn't hurt
fact
when
that
you
he
respect
headbutts
it.
the Krogan, and
You have
it doesn't
provoked
do
them.
much,
Reason enough for me
but
to
they're
like
just
you.
like, I
They're
respect the
your
fact that you have the
problem now.
balls to headbutt a Krogan, though.
That's the thing, yeah. It's not so much about the damage that you do, it's just the fact that you had the audacity to headbutt a Krogan.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Krogan gonna be a problem?
He is forbidden to interfere, will he? During the rite of passage, you must be ready for anything.
So I
Yeah,
will
I
slap them
remember
down.
that story of, like,
From what you
that
show
indie dev.
me,
Yeah, they put their
you
game
will
down
not
and was like,
disappoint.
well, if I make it a reasonable price in their economy similar to what it, like, the equivalent is in dollars, of, like, not a straight translation of, like, oh, it's, like, you know, $10, so it should be $10 worth of money in another country. It's like, well, how much, like, spending power does $10 have in that other country?
Yeah.
And how
The
much
Big
should
Mac
I
in-
reduce it by? And then, like, it still be a cheap purchase over in those countries. And it's like,
It's
the
the
moment
it's
they
the equivalent
adjusted
of America.
that, it's like, yeah, the piracy basically stopped.
But then you also have those stories of like, hey, the Humble Bundle released their figures, and it's like 95% of people just pay
Hooray.
0 pence.
Let's do this.
They pay,
Or
like,
they pay, like,
the
the
5p
literal-
that's the minimum or whatever.
There's a reason why. Fun fact: Humble Bundle used to be literally you pay what you want. It could be anywhere between a penny or $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
They had to make it so there's a minimum on everything because like they checked, and 90% of people just paid the penny.
Yep.
And in fact, there was a significant percentage of people who would download it from their servers illegally. They wouldn't even pay the
Oh my,
penny.
the penny for
They
like
would
8
download it.
games at a time.
Yeah, that's why like Humble Bundle is always like at least like $10, $15 because they just got the numbers, and most people just refused to pay for it, even when it was literally a penny.
That's so depressing.
Why stories like that are always like very few and far between because like the vast majority of people just cannot be trusted.
Spring jacket. Actually, no, let's just keep Morden in. I'd say, like, be interested to see Morden, like, learn about the rite of passage that the Krogans have to go through.
That's a terrifying name for a shotgun, isn't it? The Eviscerator. The hell yeah.
But yeah, it's what, like, we've mentioned multiple times, videos of stuff like with Gabe Newell, where he's like, it's not.
It's a service problem.
Yeah, it's not a problem where most people. The problem with piracy is like the price and ease of access. And it's like if you make something easy enough to access and a reasonable price, most people don't pirate.
Most recent scar.
It's just they can't be asked, can they? I don't want to go to a shady website that might steal on my data.
The keystone.
It's the same reason like most people will prefer to just like, you know, have it the legit way.
It endures. Like the Krogan.
Or in some cases just not consume it. It's like I wanted to watch that Halo show. The only way I could watch it is to like go get Sky Plus.
If you wish to join,
like now for that. Same thing like all the HBO Max stuff. Like, you know, you could just download all that for free, right? It's like I couldn't be asked going to like the shitty websites. And also they didn't make it available for me, so I just didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I just didn't watch any of the HBO Max stuff.
It's like I want to watch.
Let's get started, Shepard. Hit the
The Last of Us at some point, and like it's one of those of like there's probably enough now on of like the HBO stuff that's on like Now TV, where it's like we're gonna consider like you know, drop in one streaming service and pay for that for a month and
Let's get started, Shepard.
go
Get
like
the
watch all
keystone.
those TV shows. But when it was just like, do you want to pay for a month worth of this streaming thing just to watch the Last of Us TV show? It's like, no, I'll just wait until there's more on offer.
Yep.
First the Krogan conquered Tuchanka and mastered a natural world only we.
But it's always the thing. It's almost never worth discussing online because nobody wants to have that discussion. They're like, no, I want it for free. So, but Luke, you don't understand. I don't want to pay for it.
Here they come. I'm ready.
So, do you understand? Do you understand that I don't want to pay for it?
But I do, but just don't tell me that that's like the most justified thing in the world.
One more.
No, but Luke, I don't want to pay for it. Like, you don't understand that I want to watch the anime.
It's as we said, it's a human right.
It is. Remember, I actually said that to some guy. Legit, was like, I think it is. It's like, without entertainment, what's life worth living? It's like you've got a library near your house, go watch that.
Yeah.
Like, go to the fucking library and get a book. Once you've read all the books in your library,
There.
then you can start saying that I need the anime. There's nothing left.
Yep. There's plenty of other forms of entertainment that you have access to, and even for free with the use of like libraries and stuff. Yeah. Oh, this Byron's having none of it. This cryo is just not working on.
It's not.
Just takes too long to talk.
One down.
So we do have a shotgun now.
Wait. I see them. They'll all die.
Not difficult. Next.
Yeah, because that's one thing where I think a lot of publishers don't do a good job. It's like you hear people talk about like, oh, I live in like Canada or I live in Australia, and you guys don't understand how much more expensive games are, even though there are like similar prices, maybe even. Like, it's like you don't understand the spending power equivalent of like how much a game is in like my country is so much worse.
Here they
Yeah.
come.
But then at the same time, when they do stuff like localized prices, you get those people like, I'm going to Steam and I set my location.
Yeah. And
Set my location to Indonesia.
that's why so many big companies don't do it, because they're scared that like,
Not
well, the 1% of
difficult.
customers that are going to do that is going to impact our sales too much.
difficult.
It's like, but you'd probably make that money back with the amount of extra sales you get from the app.
Next. Not difficult.
They don't see it that way. It's like, but someone could get it for cheaper than you want them to. Like, well, you're going to put it on sale for half price 2 months later anyway. What's the fucking point? That's one thing that always gets me is like, another thing, you know, talking about people are like, oh, well, I have the right to buy it. It's like, well, games have gotten so expensive nowadays, I can't afford, like, to pay £70 for a game. Like, okay, but it'd be half price in less than 6 months. Well, I can't wait.
Tag
It's
the
also as well.
keystone.
It's also as well, like, you don't have to play it.
Yeah. But they think they have to play it day one, and the new full price charge is unacceptable.
We need
It's
to
like,
trigger the keystone to continue the rite.
I get it, it sucks, but like you could also just wait. Just wait for a sale. Or wait till it's on Game Pass. It's not that hard. Like, yeah, you miss out of like the discussion when the game initially comes out and when more people are talking about the game. I get that, that's part of like the zeitgeist and that's how they get you.
Crawlers, come to your death.
Oh, the crawlers. What are the crawlers?
But they look real generic.
Watch
So,
your
yeah,
back.
this is the unfortunate side of the fact that Grunt's entire, you know, the Krogan, all, you know, basically they revolve around the idea of being a combatant. And this right is basically just to want to do a bit of like a really bad horde mode in one tiny little arena.
I miss horde mode. So I know that roguelikes are coming in, like roguelikes are fun, but what I would not give for that, like that God of War like roguelike when I get to the end of like, if you just want to go into an arena with infinite enemies, it's like fuck yeah, I want to go into an arena with infinite enemies. Give me it. So that Last of Us one, it's like, please for the love of God, just let me have infinite spawning enemies.
Just make it more than 6 encounters, because The first 3 encounters are write-offs anyway, because there's 3 enemies at a time.
They just give me
really
infinite
like
spawn.
the Last of Us, like combat, and I think that they've done a good job of like they've got 4 different encounter types that are relatively interesting, but when that encounter type is those 3 enemies spawn in and I could headshot all of them in 5 seconds.
Yeah. Also, like, none of the abilities are really like useful except for the one that just get your health out when you punch things. So, oh, you like, you know, your speed while crawling is faster. It's like, I've never crawled.
Yeah,
I've never
or,
gone prone ever.
When it, oh, you get a speed boost from like mounting a desk or whatever, or vaulting a desk, sorry, and then like, or getting a stealth kill. It's, the amount of speed boost that I should get from getting a stealth kill in that with that mod alive, it should like double your speed, but it doesn't. It gives you like 10% extra walking.
It should be like proper arcadey.
It should be really arcadey. It should lean into it.
It's like you should be like, you know, like enemies catch fire when you hit them with your fist. Or it should be like, you know, like you like if an enemy is like, you know, during the critical strike thing, then your damage like gets tripled or something. You can sprint towards them and finish them off.
One down.
Or like turn invisible on like a kill or something like that. Give me like crazy ass abilities that are not in the base game.
Yes, yeah.
Because I can't like I think I went through all of the supplement things. Like just how useless they fucking are.
No.
Like crawl faster. It's like, what do you mean crawl faster? Like you never crawl.
So yeah, no
The
worries,
combat
Shadow.
counts
Thank
like
you for
40
joining.
seconds.
Hope college goes well and
We
everything
need to
for you.
trigger the keystone to continue the rite.
We do need to trigger that keystone. But yeah, it's like I went prone one time
Now,
and got
all
immediately
Krogan
grabbed from like
generators,
underneath the thing.
Our reward, our curse. It is a fight where the only goal is survival.
Oh my god, keystone.
Feel that? Everything is shaking. I am ready.
Grunt is ready. Grunt just wants it. Right, well, the Thresher Moor's coming in. Like Grunt just, yes. Feed me this Thresher Moor.
Yeah, you can eat a Thresher Maw.
Time to fight.
Whoa.
I do like that.
Enemy worth fighting.
The Thresher Moor fight is survive for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
not
like you're
kill
not
the
beating a
Thresher
Thresher
Maw.
Maw.
Deploying.
Like
no,
the
no,
like
you
you
can
patched
kill.
out. Fuck your Thresher Maw. Shit's badass.
And I believe you can, right?
You can kill them in the first game. Basically, kill it, they'll think you're
I
right
believe
badass.
it's a
With any
possibility to kill it. I just think it's
Maybe
not
you kill it, they'll think-
required.
My shields are down.
Yeah. They'll think you're a fucking badass if you pull it off.
Oh god. Okay, Mordin's down.
It's alright. So look at the Thresher Maw and go, yes, I must study this. Throw
I
me at
must
it.
also stop this from having any more children.
Should burn through any
To be
armor.
fair, look at it, yeah.
Like, that is the disappointing part, is like, just... There is some, you know, fun discussion about Krogan culture and stuff like that, and the right being a practice that all, like, adults go through and stuff, but ultimately, it's 2 bad waves of enemies and then a boring Thresher Maw fight. And it's like, that's so less cool than when you have actual, you know,
Should do the
missions
trick.
where you're
Shields
having
have
like
failed.
full conversations with people and learning about them, and
Yeah, it's just, I get it. I really do.
because
But, you know,
the Krogans respect fighting, and you know, therefore you have to have the random encounter with a Thresher Maw instead of doing like anything else. But have to make it combat based. But it's
just
just
combat
like,
what people want it.
the combat is not the best part of Mass Effect by any means.
Nope. Well, it's the thing they kept doubling down on.
Well, I get it though, because you know, if your
Flammable
biggest
or
criticism
inflammable. Forget which. Doesn't matter.
for each like for the game is, well, this game is fantastic, but the combat isn't great. I guess, like, as a developer, you see that and go, well, that's the thing we should focus on because we want to make our weaknesses better. But the issue is it's doubling down on the thing that no one, like, actually wanted the game to be good at. Or not no one wanted it to be good, but no one wanted that to be the focus.
Yeah, it's the thing that no one particularly gave that much of a shit about.
We have company.
It's like,
Good.
I understand that the
want
combat
more.
is there to make the game interesting to play, but it can be serviceable, and I'll manage, and I want the development time and like the resources to go into making the RPG side better and more interesting.
Beyond my genes, which are damn good.
This will cause discussion. I wonder. You say you are pure, no alien meddling in your construction, just the warlord Okir.
Also, yeah, we did kill that Thrasher more. Just is that? I guess
I
think I've just set it to like easy mode anyways. Like what? So again, no one really cares that much about the combat.
It's a fascinating look, isn't it? Like, just this is what they wanted. They really focused on it. Like, thing no one cared about.
But not made by
But again, yeah, the thing they were criticised for and wanted to improve upon.
That is a tolerable.
But I get it when like the big, you know, negative on the review score is like combat is not very good. Is it? Well then, focus on improving that. That's why the review scores were low.
My father's name.
Or not low, but lower.
But now you stop ranting because I'm strong.
With restrictions, you could not breed, of course, or serve on an alien ship, but you'd be clan in name.
You talk like he's a thing. You're after
hell
his
yeah.
power. You don't really want him.
I
in
like
the
how you
clan.
still got Evil Shepherd.
Of course not. I didn't really want to cooperate with Clan Erdnot either, but I had to.
I love that. Just
Clan Gatatog
well,
is on the verge. Either of
I didn't really want Grunt into our clan, but we are on the verge of just like losing our entire clan because we're a piece of shit.
Your right of
Like, the genetically
to that balance,
perfect program might help us succeed.
You know what? I'm sorry, Grunt. I'm not even giving you a chance in this. I'm just gonna say no.
Grunt can't settle for that, and I'm sure not allowing him to leave my crew.
It doesn't matter what you'd allow. Your authority doesn't go that far.
No, Gatatog, whatever order you about is that repulsive alien dares to.
Shepard may piss me off now and then, but they drain my tank for droppings like you. You're dead.
Like, become what you're always meant to be.
I really
Ahead! Hurry up!
Grunt's like, I don't care about you. Like, yeah, Shepard's a bit of a dickhead to me, but like, you guys are even fucking worse than this human is.
You'll bleed.
It's like, Shepard's a dick, but at least they're honest.
Just the thing to help.
Love our Morden so calm.
I guess like you just got nothing
Doesn't
to
flinch
worry
at the
about.
idea of murdering many Krogans. That's all it is.
Well, he's already done it before. And
Yeah,
I will not.
exactly. He's just
Like,
a
just like
Tuesday to
fucking-
Morden.
So Morden, we're gonna need you to kill some Krogan. It's like, well, you know me.
Out of here and leave him to rot.
What do you mean, Shepard? I've already done that. There it is. Yeah, it's not Rex. Legally distinct Rex.
That's kind of like a bad thing, but like, you know what it is? It is like legally distinct Rex.
Like, oh no, Rex Erdnot is gone. Now we have Reeve Erdnot.
You have passed the rite of passage, earning the honor of clan and name.
No, it's not to disparage the name of Rex. We love Rex.
Since a thresher mob
Yeah, but it's
fell.
just like that is generic, non-Rex Rex.
It's just, well, I guess if you let Rex die, we needed like
You
a generic
are
stand-in.
Erdnot. You may now own property.
Join the army and apply to serve under a battle master.
See, that's the thing, is like the clan Erdnot, they treat him as a full clan member, whereas the others were basically offering him like clan ship, quote unquote, as like a trophy, as like a bit of like a title that's not actually like respected. That we just want to look stronger as a clan and have you in our clan, but we don't want to give you like any rights.
So that kind of sucks. Give me some rights. I'm like, no. It's like, well, you're gonna tie that.
Be strong enough to keep you sharp.
We can use this.
Oh God. Jarring at least. Oh, at least it didn't take me off planet. That's nice of it.
So you can go straight back in and do the other one.
Yeah.
You don't have a flick. You hear that the tank bred and the human killed the Thresher Maw? Everybody's heard. Hasn't been done since Rex himself.
There we go. So the last Krogan that was able to kill a Thresher Maw was Rex. Like, oh man. Okay, yeah, maybe this grunt is kind of good.
Things like, you know, Rex did it without trying as well.
One wrong step, Shepard.
Like, Rex did it on his way home.
You killed that Thresher Maw on foot?
Come back in and everyone's like, you fucking killed the Thresher Maw? Like, what?
Like, yeah. So you come in wearing Thresher Maw boots.
To the clan, Erdnot grunt.
Let's got some shoes on. My Thresher Maw boots, man. What you got?
Yeah, well, make yourself useful. You're in this
Like,
shit
you
now.
killed that thing? It's like, is that all we all meant to
I'm going
do?
out in the field. If I see a combustion manifold, I'll bring it back with me.
If you did, it would save me a lot of work.
Oh, this
Maybe
was
bring back my son.
Let me get out of your
Don't
way.
do me any favors.
person that I need to go out.
One more win in the pits, and I'm retiring.
It was.
Still looking for that Solarian? Or did you just come to waste my time?
Take the truck.
How do I get to Clan Werelock?
Just take the truck, human. Follow what's left of the road to Clan Werelock's base. That's where the Solarian was. Just watch out for the blood pack.
Talk to you later.
Still
Yeah,
looking
let me
for
take
that
the truck.
Solarian?
Let's go.
Or did you just...
Morden's got some ramifications to deal with. If we don't remember what this one was like, oh, my like old assistant appears to have like basically been, you know, has disappeared and is presumed captured on Tachanka, and you know, I think they had part of like, you know, they have an idea of how Morden and the rest of them created the genophage, so it's like, oh, they've been kidnapped to be able to go and help with the genophage cure, essentially.
And little do they know.
Well, Morden's got to go. Morden's going to fly in with his Krogan Annihilator and be like, well...
The Krogan Annihilator, you mean his fists? Pow, 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 pow.
Oh, there we go. Just a 70% increase to your Paragon and Renegade scores. We only had 40 previously. 30% to what? So I kind of forgot that that's one of the bonuses to that tree. Is that you just get like a massive boost to your Paragon and Renegade score.
Oh, that's good. Because as soon as you get that, it's like, well, now we just like can maximize the fuck out of it.
Bring Grunt in his nice new shiny black armor.
Oh,
I do
God,
like this.
fucking
The orange and black on Grunt looks really good. Reload off. Gotta be done.
Headed for combat.
Or he's not Rachni.
Like, that's a pretty like accurate name for like they're not Rachni.
Harmless, did you?
So what are they? Well, they're not Rachni. It's like, I guess they're not Rachni.
They look like they have a suspicious amount. It's like the PAL version. Rachni was the Pokemon. Like legally distinct Rachni clone.
Nothing can hurt me.
Legally distinct Rachni is a really good name of putting it.
You can tell they've probably used the same kind of base model and movements and stuff
yeah.
that the Rachni had from the first game.
Just the thing to help.
That's such a brutal combo. Like, you use Crippling Slam while in the air, Mordin freezes them, slams them back into the ground, and then Shepard just shoots them in the face with a shotgun as they are crippled and frozen on the ground. Just in case you didn't think crippled and frozen was bad enough.
But then, on top of everything, they then explode.
Just get shot point blank in the face. The Eviscerator.
Keep them back. Headed for combat.
Worthless.
Shotgun is slow, but it does pack a
Feel the blood rage.
The Crippling Slam.
It's more like
I always go for
nothing up
Miranda's mission pretty early, just for the slam. Oh, getting back into Monster Hunter. That is the thing with, you know, I've had a similar experience with Destiny. That every now and then I get real back into it. It reels me
it's
back
always a
in.
problem. It just gets you.
Shields down.
Oh god. It's just one of those, I also have Pokemon that does that to me.
Rage.
So I can kind of only do one at a time. It's always bouncing back and forth. Which game am I going to invest like all of my life into right now? Is it Pokemon or is it... People say there can only be one, but I disagree.
You can have many. It's like it's not ideal.
You can have many, and it is a ball ache, but you can only have one at a time. Oh, that's cool. Like, so the event quests like don't go away when the event does. Because that would be cool. Yeah, we've added event quests and just... If you're not the week when they came out, you're not going to miss out.
Repurposed Krogan Hospital. Sturdy, built to withstand punishment.
Dead human body.
That body, human. Need to take a look. Sores, tumors, ligatures showing restraint at wrists and ankles, track marks for repeated injection sites. Test subject. Victim of experimentation.
It's crazy that you can still go and do like the Dante thing from, or not like when it launched, or close to the Dante stuff. Why would they?
They're trying to cure the genophage. Why experiment on non-Krogan?
Humans useful as test subjects, genetically diverse, enables exploration of treatment modalities.
Like, using humans is wrong. It's okay, but would you argue the other way around, that like experimenting on other aliens is wrong? I hope so.
Experimenting on humans? That kind of crap is what makes
Oh, no,
Cerberus seem like
Shepard,
a
no.
good idea.
Never used humans myself. Disgusting, unethical, sloppy. Used by brute force researchers, not thinkers.
Just,
No
this
place
is
in
why
proper
Cerberus
science.
is probably right. It's like,
Krogan use of
Shepard,
humans,
why?
Unsurprising.
Why is Renegade Shepard just such an occasional racist or spacist?
It's just
Like,
the only
maybe
way.
I agree with Cerberus and humans should look out for just humans.
I imagine you had to do some live subject testing while developing the new genophage.
No, unnecessary. Limited tests to simulations, corpses, clone tissue samples. High-level tests on Varen. No tests on species with members capable of calculus. Simple rule, never broke it.
But again, like, where do you draw the line? Because the argument that no, I won't experiment on anything that can do calculus, that leaves it pretty wide open to experimenting on a lot of other races and species.
Yep.
That's, I imagine, in the Mass Effect world, there's probably a lot of different species that are sentient but cannot do calculus.
Because they don't know what it is.
And it's again, it shows the brutalness of like the efficiency of Mordin, I guess, of like, he's not a bad guy, but he's willing to justify a lot of bad things with very little care.
Wouldn't something native to Tachanka work better? Varen?
So
maybe?
he's got a
Yes,
pretty...
human experiments strictly
like,
high level.
in his head,
Concept
that's a
testing.
really
Native
specific
Tachanka
thing. It's
fauna
like,
likely used later
that's
in development
leaving a lot...
stages.
So he's saying, what about
Wise
if a
to delay
species
use
can't
of
talk
Varen until
and
necessary.
communicate? Is that okay
Powerful
to be
bite.
experimented on?
It's like, can the Hanar do calculus? Can the Elcor? They're races that you'll find on the Citadel as being part of society. Would you experiment on them if they don't know calculus?
Come on, we still need to find Malin.
Agreed.
60 hours in with all weight. So, I mean, yeah. That's the thing is, there's so much to do in Monster Hunter games, like, in a good and bad way. Like, there is so much value in that game. Obviously, it leads to you know, it's also that downside of it. It can be that thing that you, like, lose your life to, in that, you know, sense of, like, going into that rabbit hole, but there's just so much content and value.
Yeah, it's like Monster Hunter is a fantastic return on investment if you're willing to put the time in.
Mm-hmm.
I am the speaker for Clan Werelock Offworlders. You have shed our blood. By rights, you should be dead already. But Werelock
squad.
Gold, the chief
Squad
of
of these
chiefs,
dudes.
has ordered that you be given leave to flee and spread the message of our coming.
I do appreciate that. It's not that we're letting you go because, you know, we feel bad for you or anything. Just, we're letting you leave so that you can go tell everyone to just be fucking scared of us.
You have a Solarian named Malin.
It's like,
I'm not leaving
dead bodies
without
do
him.
send a message, but it's not the message we
Solarian
want to
stays
send
with
right now.
us. His work is the tool of our conquest. Clan Werelock will cure the genophage and spread across the galaxy in a sea of blood.
See, this is
They
also
discovered Malin's work. Unfortunate.
this is also a big problem when it comes to the argument of the genophage. It's like, okay, now you've pissed off the Krogans. So if the Krogans do cure the genophage, now they might be in a position to go on a murderous rampage across the galaxy. Look at these people, they want to. But
Time for Genophage 2.
would they have wanted that if you didn't genophage them into oblivion? Would they have been seeking domination on the galaxy if you didn't fuck them over so hard? And it just...
Your lesson here is even harder.
We've said it before of just... Well, Mordin and the other Solarians were like, we knew that they would. It's like, we knew that they would go on a rampage across the galaxy. It's like, but how did you know? How did you not try and compromise before you just obliterated all of their entire race? Or species. I keep saying race, but like species.
It doesn't have to happen like this. I can understand wanting to cure the genophage.
No, human, you understand nothing! You have not seen the piles of children that never lived.
The Genophage is such an awkward thing to like deal with as well, because
We will
it's just
make it right, and then we will have our
it's such a
revenge.
fucked up thing.
Like this clan speaker here, it's like, yeah, the Krogan were wronged. They were. And it's
But it's like
fucked.
it's
Like
collective punishment on a hitherto unfathomed scale. So we're going to punish the entire race of people for something like, you know, we decided that they might do.
I get like why you're pissed off in this scenario. It's like, I understand that. Yeah, this is real fucked up what they did, and curing the Genophage is not the thing I've got a problem with. It's you wanting to kill us right now.
Half the galaxy sees the Krogan as victims. If you start a war, you'll lose their support.
We have the Blood Pack, and we have the Solarian. When our clan numbers in the millions, we will not need support. When we cure the Genophage, Warlock Gold will rule all Krogan. The Krogan rebellions will become...
You talk too much.
And it's that thing is sort of like, just there is absolutely no way you can ever fight against the Krogans in this regard. But I guess she's going to shoot.
Now I guess we have to kill these people because now they do want to become murderous, rampaging Krogan clan.
No, it's almost like they just had something really, really bad happen to them and are pissed off about it.
Yes. But it's like also now they just want to murder everyone that isn't them. And it's like, I guess, you know, you had the wrong response even though you were the ones being wronged in the first place.
Yep. So keep in mind as well, when the humans first encountered like the Saurians, they immediately declared war.
Yeah.
So under that logic, they should like, oh, the humans are a very like aggressive warfaring race, and they breed like very quickly. We should probably like do a genophage on them.
Yeah. But Karl, humans are the people. We play as the human. Like, well, they did let the entire
labs likely
Citadel
can smell antiseptic.
but like the council, just die and then decide that humans are the only one that couldn't be trusted. It's like, yeah, we're definitely not good in this game.
We learned the exact wrong lesson from this.
Well, there's just boxes of refined iridium effort.
Active console may contain useful data. One moment. Genetic sequences, hormone
It's yours
mutations
now.
still steady. Protein chains, live tissue, clone tissue. Very thorough. Standard treatment vectors, avoiding scorched earth immunosuppressants to alter hormone levels. Good. Hate to see that.
What was it like working on the Genophage modification project?
Best years of my life.
God.
Wake up with ideas, talk over breakfast, experiments all morning. Statistical analysis in afternoon, run new simulations during dinner, set data runs to cook overnight.
What was it
Laughter,
like to
ego,
work on the
argument,
Genophage
passion,
that
galaxy's
murdered
biggest
millions?
problem,
Best
massive
years of my
resources
life.
thrown at us. Got anything we wanted.
I understand that you're saying that you enjoyed the work and the research and the problem solving and the teamwork and stuff, but it sounds real bad.
Was there not like a way you could have worded this better than no? Why would I do that?
Like I've not watched Oppenheimer, but you know that whole the quote misquote thing that of like I am become death. It's like, imagine Oppenheimer being like, man, best years of my life.
Sounds like you were pretty important.
Like, you know
You
what?
go from that to running a
Millions
clinic on
died, but that was real
Wanted
fun.
to heal people. Good use of last decade.
That's essentially what
Something easy.
Morden's doing
No
right now.
ethical concerns. Understand rationale.
But what you're all forgetting is that I'd like to have a lot of fun doing this. There's a human element to this, and that human element had a fucking sick time. Got mad leg, got to bang full of
We're not
cute,
gonna
sick.
find Malin staring at consoles. Come on.
Even now, even right now, Morden is like doubling down and saying, we made the correct decision.
Well, I guess you've kind of got to be like completely committed to your ideals. It's like a moment's hesitation against something like a decision this massive would cause you to have like crippling anxiety for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Like you second guess yourself after making that
This is
like
valuable.
that kind of decision.
Yeah, I guess at some point, even if maybe you had
Dead Krogan, female.
some
Tumors
conflict
indicate
about it at the
experimentation. No
time, the
restraint
only way
marks.
you'd ever be
Volunteer.
able to live with yourself for the rest of your life is just, if nothing else,
Sterile
make
Werlock
yourself
female willing to risk
convince
procedures.
yourself
Hoped
that
for
it was the
cure.
best choice.
Pointless. Pointless waste of life.
Just lie to yourself.
And I don't think that's what Mordin's doing. But yeah, I guess.
You can understand why he's so like cocksure of
What
his
was pointless?
convictions,
Volunteering
because
in the
like
doctor's
you need someone
experiments.
who is absolutely fully in belief that they were doing the
Armors
right
take
thing
forgivable.
to make a
Theirs
decision
not.
like that.
Yeah.
Because to not be completely assured of what
Rest,
you're doing
young
is
mother.
right would
Find your
just be
gods.
madness.
Find someplace better.
And you've seen as well that Mordin isn't an uncaring monster. Like, here he's like, the way that
Like, I
they
think-
went through these processes is just a waste of life.
Yeah, he feels like bad for like the individual Krogan on a macro sense. Like he just sees the bigger picture. Like they were a
You
threat
realize
to
we
all
gunned
life in
down
the
a few
galaxy.
Krogan on our way in, right?
Different cases. Self-defense, combat, instinctual, justified, medical experimentation, not the same. Krogan researchers ruthless,
Yeah,
risking own
we've killed
plans winning for
Krogans.
new
We've
data.
killed Krogans
Disgusting.
in like combat, in
Short-sighted.
self-defense.
Wrong.
Not just. I'm not saying we're playing Renegade Shepherd. I don't want to say the Genophage was right. Oh,
You know it's the renegade option at the bottom of the screen.
yeah, that's the worst part. I really wish that the answers were all like randomized every time.
Yep.
And it wasn't just hold down and do all the Renegade choices and hold up and do all the Paragon choices.
That would
You
be
know
an
what?
interesting mod. I think an interesting mod for this game would be it mixes up the answers, so you've got to pick the one that
It's
you
hard
think
to
is
see,
correct.
Alice Morden. But you
Instead
do
of just
the right
saying, well, I
thing.
want to do the Paragon
Your work
option.
saved lives.
And that's the
Not
thing is,
easy. Sometimes
right
wish I
now,
wasn't
I'm just
as
like,
intelligent.
we need the
Choice
Renegade
would have
points.
fallen on someone else.
And we are doing a Renegade run, so it's
Fool's
like,
wish.
yep.
Had to be me. Others might have gotten it wrong. Ready to go, Shepard.
It sucks. That'd be actually a really interesting mod. If, like you only it mixes up so you can't do the thing of always picking what you know is like the Paragon options to get the point.
Yeah. You actually have to like take time to listen and consider your options.
You mean roleplay?
Yeah. Oh, there's Sit Krogan. And datapad. Like, I'll get to you, Sit Krogan. I need to just hack this datapad first.
Yeah.
I know
You
you're dying,
understand.
but imagine that just someone like comes in and just like, give me a moment, I just need to hack this datapad before I talk to you. Okay. Especially you just sitting in a floor, like on a floor on your own, just dying. Yes, that datapad is important though, Shepard, I understand.
Like Krogan's lived for 1,000 years. It's like him being sick on his like last legs means he's got like 10 years left.
Not Bloodpack, not member of Clan Werlock. Wrong clan markings.
I'm a nerd, not scout. Werlock guards got me. Brought me here.
You don't look so good.
He was like
You
such a
injured?
sad Krogan as well.
Gave me.
Well, yeah, they are.
That's like a little saddy baby Krogan.
Sometimes
Yeah, they've just been
gas,
experimenting on this
Made me
Krogan, that's
sick.
why.
Fever. Aches. Can't keep food down. They're
They've been
fixing the
filling me
genophage.
full of as many
I'm
things as they
making a
can, trying to fix the
sacrifice.
Genophagers.
For all Krogan.
You're safe now. Just get back to your camp. I'll deal with the Werlock.
You can't do that. You can't stop them. Don't you understand? They're curing the genophage. They're gonna make it all better.
Yeah,
They have to
even
keep
the
doing
Krogan
the
that's been like
tests.
pumped full of random shit
Caution,
that's
Shepard.
like
Patient
getting
unstable,
murdered,
susceptible.
basically.
Brainwashed.
Just even they're on board of like, no, you can't stop them.
Yeah.
They're gonna stop the Genophage.
Yeah, it's like my life. It's like it's a similar
Why
viewpoint
do
to
you
what
want them to
Mordin
keep
has.
doing
Of
the
like,
tests?
this is awful.
This
What's
is
happening
my
to you? It's like, okay, yeah, it's kind of it sucks for me, but the
Wasn't
end result is
strong enough.
hopefully my
Not
entire
good
race
enough.
surviving. What does
Mhm.
my life
This
matter
is
in the
the
grand
best
scheme of
I
things in
can
that
do.
regard?
Yeah.
What I can't.
This is all I can do.
I can't have kids, so I can't propagate my line. This is something I can do to be remembered, to help,
kids of my own.
to have a
God,
tangible
yeah.
impact on the future of my people.
And this are just like, I literally, I'm not enough of a big dick Krogan to like actually have kids of my own. I'm not impressive enough, so like, if I get pumped full of the right amount of shit, I might help undo the genophage. Oh man, that's rough. It's like, this person doesn't even care if they're just gonna get like experimented on to the point of death because they're just like, I wouldn't have been able to have kids anyway.
You got a bruised ego. You got.
Well, how's this make you feel, Mordin? Still pretty confident he did the right thing? That this is the result?
I need to stay. They're gonna
Shepard just called them all the way out.
Krogan. When a real Krogan gets knocked down, he gets back up.
I did. I got back up every time they hit me. So many times.
You're lying there right now like a Vorcha grubbing in the mud. You gonna just lie there,
Odd
Vorcha?
Shepard, jeez.
Screw you, human. Nobody says that to me. Nobody keeps me down.
And just
Damn right they don't.
fuck you up.
Now get back to Clan Erdnot and report in. Go. Go!
Like, I get what they would play in bad cop for the sake of
Nicely
like,
done. Fortunately,
no,
subject
I'm
is
gonna
unlikely to be
rile
contagious.
you up and make you like believe in your life
Get
again.
mad.
But yeah, just
You're
you're a
Krogan
lowly
without
piece of shit.
I'm detecting crates
Get
that
up.
are holding unstable materials. A
Like,
misplaced
right,
shot
Shepard,
will cause a
Christ.
significant explosion.
Or a well-placed shot. Explosives useful.
Like, Mordin's like, that was pretty sick though, bro.
Just Edie comes in and like, please be careful. There might be explosives that are like ready to blow. And Morning's like, excellent, more people to kill with them.
Trouble!
It should be just like a Krogan has leapt onto our ship and started like murdering everyone's like, good. He'll be remembered.
Weakling! Worthless.
Don't be careful
Watch
about
it.
the explosives.
My kid's
I guess
charging.
all the better to just murder more Krogan. It's all Morton sees. He's so brutal.
You just these numbers above Krogan's heads is like, that's number 38. So he might have the highest kill count of anyone in this series, and I include the Reapers in that.
I mean, not more than the Reapers, but
No, but individual
maybe
Reapers
one
might not kill
individual
as many.
Reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe like, you know, your character Shepard in the multiplayer.
Yeah, like, did Sovereign kill more people
Watch
than
it.
Mordin? I think not.
It's hilarious to think about, isn't it?
Yeah. And no, like, Mordin didn't actively kill them, but he essentially stopped, like, he you know,
Getting up close!
stopped the possibility of billions of Krogans being born.
It's like the Oppenheimer thing is like, did Oppenheimer kill those people? It's like, no, but is he like responsible? Hell, goddamn, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's so raw. The last thing that they did was just charge wrongly into a pillar because the AI got a bit wonky, and they just got froze to death. Your last living action was your path tracing wasn't.
Thing is though, that's just like when you walk into the room and forget why you're in there. Like,
Well, imagine doing that, and that was the last thing you ever did.
Nothing can hurt me!
You just do it, then you're like your head explodes.
Your last action before you got shotgun in the face was like, oh, I forgot why I walked into this room.
Then you just explode.
Should do the trick.
Blood path! Attack!
Get that.
Wish I were standing down.
It's still the black hole generator cracks me up every time.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Not difficult.
the last grunt. Okay, got it. I thought there was just one last Krogan to kill. Just grunt running around. Give me that slip. Go then. Behind two.
Whatever it is going to get shot by a big old black hole generator.
You want a free goat. I don't want a goat.
Still the funniest thing. I love that when you explain, no matter how many times you explain it to people, someone always like, no, it's not right. That's not how it works. Like, it literally is.
Yeah. We're
That's how math
the
works.
multi-hole problem of it. But yeah, when I was wondering what we're referring to. Reference. It's like, just, yeah, no one ever seems to believe that, like, yeah, if you eliminate one door, you should always go for the swap. Like, it's a 66% chance. 2 in 3 chance.
Yep. No one believes it.
That's
the
thing is, when you first hear it, it's like, no, it's a 50-50 chance. It's, you know, that's not how probability works, because there was a third option there. Oh.
Like, probability, like, you know, the boxers don't know that you had a choice before this. The boxers this.
Yeah. It's like, I admit, when I first heard it, it's like, it is a bit brain-breaking to think about, and therefore you don't want to accept that it's true, but it is.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff like that. It's like the birthday problem. Like, well, Luke, how many people do you think you need to guarantee that, like, you know, or like to have a 50-50 chance that 2 of them have the same birthday?
It's something like 26 people or something, isn't it?
about 26, yeah. Less than about 30.
Yeah.
You get 30 people in a room, there's a 99% chance that 2 of them will have the same birthday, which people cannot accept. Like, well, technically, it was like 365 days that you could have a birthday. But they think it's like, okay, yeah, there's a 1 in, like, you know, 365 chance that you share the same birthday with someone. Well, that's not the question. The question is 2 people there.
2 people all like share the same birthday. Like, yeah, it's one of those weird math things of like. But it also makes sense of like, you know, at least in my school when I was younger, there was roughly 30 people like to a class.
In a class.
And like, yeah, it wasn't uncommon for 2 people to have the same birthday.
Yeah, because people always think, well, the odds of someone having the same birthday as me is quite low. It's like, yeah, of course it is, but that's not the question I'm asking. I'm asking what are the odds that 2 people in that room share the same birthday. And it's not just like comparing you to all the other 30 people there. It's like, okay, now we've got to check like the other person to all 29.
Also, you know, back on the mission, Malin's like, oh, Mordin, you're a fucking moron. I want to be here.
He wasn't kidnapped. He came here voluntarily to cure the.
So I feel real bad about what we did.
Impossible. Whole team agrees.
Like, wait, what? You feel bad about this? Like, do you not?
To disagree with the great Dr. Solus. I was your student. I looked up to you.
Experiments performed here. Live subjects, prisoners, torture and executions. You're doing?
We've already got the blood of millions on our hands, Doctor. If it takes a bit more to put things right, I can deal with that.
It's like, do you really think that the horrible experimentation I've been doing here is any worse
than what you did,
than what we did, like, with the genophage?
But at least what I'm doing is going to save people. Yours was, like, murdering people.
You talked about killing, but the genophage isn't lethal. It only affects fertility rates.
From my perspective, the most horrifying thing I could do is just stop what I'm doing.
Mercenaries or pirates,
and the fact that, like, you know, the Krogans who were in, like, being experimental on, like, fucking do it, bro.
Now, had we not decided that
Yeah,
this is what they deserve.
they would be thriving in a cultural renaissance right now if we didn't do this.
Simulations were clear.
Simulations were clear. Krogan populated resulted in war. It's like, but who programmed the simulations? Yeah.
The Krogans don't have any capacity for not doing anything like to do with war. As you're on their planet and you see their culture and their people and, like, you know, their infrastructure and their religion and their architecture.
By saying the Krogan would cause havoc and war if their population recovered.
So you are on, like, the hollowed out bones of a planet that, like, you know, just doesn't have a culture anymore because the people they've died a death.
The assault on your Eden
There's this fascinating philosophical concept called, like, the first death. Are you familiar with it at all?
No, I don't think so, no.
Okay, so it came about as a result of an experiment on mice, where they basically created a utopia for mice to see what would happen. It's like if we give mice like just unlimited
Just
resources,
perfect
no
lives.
challenge.
Yeah.
Like, what would you essentially think would be like mouse heaven? What happens? And the answer is just they all died. They stopped breeding. They just became listless. They would just you would have mice like crowding into rooms for 10 in groups of 50, while rooms that were empty sat like inches away. They became ostracized. They began infighting, and they postulated that there's this thing called like long before the mice died, quote unquote, they'd already just their spirit had died, which they called the first death.
Yes. Yeah. Now that you meant, yeah, I do remember. It's like,
And obviously,
just what happens when you give something like no purpose,
yes,
and it's just like, well, there's no point in living anymore. It's
and
that
it's
whole
similar
thing
to
of when people talk about like, oh well, if you gave everyone universal income, no one would ever want to do anything. Like, no, people would strive to find like a purpose that they want to do.
I think about like what is like the worst form of like psychological torture you can do to someone. It's leave someone in a room with nothing to do. Like it's literally one of the worst possible things you can do to a human
How
being.
would a
Just leave them
Krogan
in an empty room with
population
nothing left to
explosion
do.
have done anything to stop Saren and the Geth?
But that's where they come the idea of like
Increased
the
Krogan
first death,
population
and that's
with
like the
force
Krogan people, like they're
council to take
alive, but
steps,
are they
likely
really?
involving colony
Culturally,
rights
they're
in the
dead.
Traverse.
There's like
It's
most of
just
them
like,
just
you
become
know,
To be
mercenaries
vigilant
because
for
they've
any
got no point
military
left in
activity in
life.
the area. They might have
yeah,
stopped
like
the Geth at Eden
you can say,
Prime.
well, there's still
Supposition,
Krogans left. It's like,
impossible to be certain.
really, they're not.
Don't you see?
It's like
We
you
tried
can
to play
say that they
God,
could
and we
come back.
failed.
It's like, well, they've got no
We
reason to
only
live,
made things
so
worse.
they're already
And I'm
dead.
going
It's
to
just that
fix
they
it.
don't know it yet.
Yeah, and it's like, as he said, like we tried to play God and we failed. It's like, yeah, they made simulations, they made assumptions, they made guesses, and they played God and fucked everything up. And it's like, is this a better world than if the Krogan had a population? It's like, well,
Yeah.
my you know, calculus and simulations told me that yes, it is better than the Krogans because they would have ravaged us all. It's like, okay, but that's what you assume, what your simulations were programmed to assume.
Malin clearly doesn't need rescuing. What do you want to do?
Have to end this.
You can't face the truth, can you? Can't admit that your brilliant mind led you to commit an atrocity.
Unacceptable experiments. Unacceptable goals. Won't change.
Oh,
choice.
Solarian fist fight.
Have to kill you.
Wait, you don't need to do this, Morden.
I can't do it. I can't
Not
watch
a
it.
murderer.
I'm
It's
sorry. I didn't do the renegade choice, but like,
Not a murderer. Thank you, Shepard.
I can't watch Morden just like murder this man
Finished, Malin.
who's
Who's trying
like
to
being
help.
perfectly
No way,
reasonable and wanting to help.
Project over.
I don't know though. If I pick the renegade choice here of like he'll keep working on a cure, does that mean that we then kill him?
I don't know.
Like, I mean,
It
let's
seems
find
like-
out because I did just like go against the run of like, you know.
Aren't you worried that he'll start his research again?
No. Locking this unit. Special task group can cut access to old data. Could start from scratch. Decades of work, though. Didn't teach you everything I knew.
You heard the professor. Get out before he changes his mind.
Where am I supposed to go,
Okay.
Professor?
Don't
But-
care. Try Omega. Can always use another clinic.
Morden's fine with
Krogan
it.
didn't deserve what we did to them, Professor. The genophage needs to end.
Like, I hate the...
Not like this. Apologies, Commander. Misunderstood mission parameters. No kidnapping. My mistake. Thank you.
Yeah, I hate the fact that, like, the only way that that situation could end was, like, stop working on a cure.
Yep. It's just, it fucking sucks.
Don't worry about me, Morden.
Like,
Or
the
you.
morals of this game are, like,
Wanted
so
to.
wildly
Easier
messed
than
up.
listening. Easier for him, too. Experiments indicate how far he's fallen.
But
Expected it from Krogan.
it's like, it's one of
Not
those
one of
things of,
mine.
like, is it just that, like, you know, they've written Morden to be that way, or is that, like, how the developers feel themselves, and you don't really know, and then, like, we'll get to it in Mass Effect 3, you know, Karl and I know what's gonna happen, but like this comes back up in Mass Effect 3, and it's like, you know, do we get different perspectives on it and stuff? It's like, yeah, it's just that thing of like, is this the developers saying that like curing the genophage is bad, or is this, you know, good writing, and that it's like, no, this is Mordin.
I'd like to think it's good writing, but I have had way too many like just frustrating conversations with people who just do not think they like. Well, yeah, you had to stop the Krogans because they were bad.
But who said they were bad?
That's what their enemies did. What
Yeah.
enemies? You know, the ones who used them
If
as
you're
warfare.
giving
Like
the
they only
Krogans
saw,
too
like
much
they said, they were too dangerous and
Giving the
warmongering.
Solarians
What
too
made them
much.
say that? Well, the
Possible.
fact that they used them as
Sloppy
a
thinking. Must
imperial,
correct.
like shock
Leland's research.
force
Only loose end.
to
Could
fight in a
destroy
war
it.
they didn't
Closure,
start.
security.
Wait, so the Krogans were used to
Still
fight in a war
valuable,
they
though.
didn't start, that they then won, and then they were deemed to be too warmongering and got killed. Even though they didn't start the war that they
I
won.
think it could be useful.
Yeah,
Why not
they
hang on to
got.
it?
Worked for years.
They
to create
didn't start the
modified
war. They
genophage.
weren't
Should
involved.
destroy
They got
this.
dragged into
Leland's
it and
work could
brought
cure genophage.
into
Don't know.
like,
Effects on Krogan,
you know,
effects on Galaxy. Too many variables.
a
Too many
higher
variables.
level of society before they were like reasonably ready for it, just to be like, you know, bred and used as pawns in a war they didn't start or want. And then the moment that they, you know, actually attained victory for the council, they got fucked.
It's their own fault, innit?
I'm like genuinely just letting my own morals slip into this run of like, I want to see what happens when we say like, no Mordin, help the Krogans.
You regret what the Krogan have become. You see the horror of what they did here, but you see
Hey,
the
you
loss
gotta help the
too.
Krogan, man.
Wasted potential.
They don't deserve this, Morden. Save the data.
Point taken, Shepard. Capturing data. Wiping local copy. Still years away from.
Like, help the Krogan.
But
Help
closer than
them.
starting from scratch.
It's like, so
Done.
we've saved
Ready
the
to go.
data,
Ready to be off
and
to
it's like
Chonka.
Mordin has that
Anywhere
data,
else.
but no one
Maybe
else
somewhere
does.
sunny.
But yeah,
Let's
he's
get
like,
outta here.
but technically we should keep it because if we ever do decide that curing the genophage is the right thing to do, this is like years worth of a shortcut.
Yeah. So maybe one day we'll forgive the Krogan. Not today, but what about if we do?
Always have a contingency plan, and I like the fact that Mordin respects the idea of like having a contingency plan of what if we do decide that we should kill the genophage though. Like, good point. Yeah, maybe I should keep this data in case we change our minds. Because Mordin, if nothing else, as we've seen, is a pragmatic person.
So yeah, he doesn't see how it could happen right now, but he understands that, like, well, why would you get rid of this data?
This is years worth of research. I should keep it just in case. But it also speaks to Mordin that he will keep a local copy and no one else will ever be allowed to see it. It's like, because Mordin
he trusts
sees
his own
himself
judgment, yeah.
as, the, like, you know, he sees his own judgment as, like, better than anyone else's.
Just to be fair, got a good point.
But does he? Because he started the genophage in the first place.
Received a new message
He was told to do it. It was his job.
No, but they decided as a team that the genophage was the right decision.
Yeah. It's like the morals are all fucked up.
They are, yeah, and like that's the thing is, that's why it makes for so much more of an interesting mission than just like shoot a Thresher more.
Yep.
Because the amount of like discussion that can be had about this entire thing is like way more interesting than just, well, did you shoot the big Thresher? Yeah. Did you shoot it? It's like, yeah, we did. Cool, you shot it well. Good job. Yeah, it's just, that's why I really don't, I like the beginning of like the discussion of like, well, what is the right for Grunt? But it's like, it's such a small part of that mission. It's basically just, well, to be respected and to get a clan, you have to kill things. And that's about it. And it's like, okay, like, you know, there's like an interesting idea there, but they don't commit much to like discussing it or talking about it. Like, because Krogans wouldn't, they'd just be like, go shoot things, prove yourself.
Even though, like, you know, we kind of do know the Krogans do discuss things. but they kind of actually super love discussing shit.
Keep clicking on ship enhancements by mistake. Or the Krogan shotgun. Grunt gets the Claymore heavy shotgun. There's so many of them. Oh, cool. Well, you get this nice, like, cryo weapon or a missile launcher. But is it a black hole generator? It's not.
It's not,
it?
my thing.
It's not a black hole gun, is it?
Like, nothing will be the black hole gun. Like, give me the 14 black hole guns.
Do it. Give me more black holes. Give me like a Ratchet and Clank black hole gun.
Still hard
I mean,
to
it's
believe
Ratchet
Malin
and Clank,
betrayed-
more like
betrayed
the
my
weapons they
work.
use in those games.
Disgusted by his actions. Proud of his nerve, though. Always thought he lacked backbone. Hope he finds something new. Better goal, better purpose. Fewer torture tests.
Yeah. Even there, he's like, well, I think he's a bit shit, but also, I'm glad he's not just completely spineless. It's like, you were accosting him for, like, committing atrocities with these experimentations, and he walks away going, he's not spineless, at least.
Yeah, he's not a pussy about it. At least he stands up what he believes in. Complete pragmatism. It's weird to say. In this game, like, the aliens feel like aliens because they make decisions that, like, only make sense to them. So, like, there's, like, cultural differences.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Appreciate you helping me back on Tuchanka. Should get back to work. Wasted enough
And
time
it's like,
already.
part of it is
Lots to
because
do. Talk later.
he's a Solarian, part of it is because Mordin is just a bit of a sociopath. But it makes both the species and the character feel different and interesting.
I bumped into Zaid recently. Quite the character. Given how much violence and destruction that man's seen, he's surprisingly well adjusted. Still,
Yeah, speaking
want to
of
be alone with
fucking
him.
sociopaths.
how may I help you?
Zaid.
Zaid, just the man who's like a mass murderer and doesn't care.
Whereas the thing, it's like, oh, he's well adjusted. Yes, he's not been outside for ages. You don't let him out.
Thane would like to see you down in life support.
Thane
on the
wants
crew
to
deck.
see us come.
Anything else, Commander?
You gotta go see Thane. You gotta see what he's up to.
Thane would like to speak with you, Commander.
Oh, this is just the Erdnot shaman being like, oh, by the way, shit's pretty dire for the Krogans, and Grunt is like a genetic masterpiece. Don't fuck up and let him die. Bring
Which is
him
fair
back
point,
alive, you fucking idiot. Like,
We don't know how you looked into getting, like, the perfect Krogan on your side twice.
Okay, thank you for subbing for some Cades. Like, I should probably
You gotta
change
get
that to like sub for sausage because, you know, when I set that I didn't have Oryx yet. Or Oryx just getting left out of the conversation. Like, well, we only sub for Cade. It's like, no, Oryx. Don't worry, he's a skinny boy now. Karl can attest.
Yeah, he is a small boy.
He's no longer that large Tubbins. It's just I keep seeing like the gifs come up of him from like, you know, I haven't put new gifs up on my OBS of like when he's lost more weight, and every time it's like, man, like the fat Oryx gifs. Not fat anymore. Please, he's healthy. He's nearly a recommended weight now.
Just like all of us. Like
I've got a lot more work to do than Oryx has.
So you were saying, like, I wish someone could just tell me, like, what was I saying? No, none of that.
It's like, I don't have anyone but me to stop myself. I've got to have self-control, whereas Oryx is just forced. Someone else controls his diet. Oryx doesn't need self-control. Which, he has none of.
To be fair, like, yeah.
Like, he eats things like nothing else. Continues to really burst, clearly. Because he got to, like, twice the weight he was meant to be when he... at the rescue. So, clearly he's proven that he would just, like, eat himself to death. Given the opportunity.
Shepard.
Oh, I love how he's wearing, like, the secondary outfit of, like, rocking the red shades.
Yeah, you wear what I tell you wear. It's like, why are you looking like that? It's like,
I need to swap it back to the other, like, the default outfit, because you need to be able to see his eyes. His eyes are so beautiful.
I heard you wanted
But he
to
knows
speak
the power
with me.
the eyes have.
Yes. Now that you are here, though, it seems more difficult to talk about.
I've got time. Take it at your own pace.
Thank you. I fear I've already done that for too long. I had a family once. I still have a son.
Oh,
His name is
yes,
Karl.
yes.
I haven't seen him for a very long time.
Some of the responses, I don't know exactly that would be the response, but just like, man, I've made a lot of mistakes, Shepard. I had a family once, and I guess I still have a son. And the response can just be like, come on, get on with it. It's like,
Yeah.
fucking hell.
So I had a son, so we all had sons once.
Shut the fuck up and move on. Okay, great.
Did something happen to them?
I abandoned them. Oh, not all at once. Nothing dramatic, no sneaking out in the middle of the night, no final argument or slammed door. I just did my job. I hunted and killed across the galaxy. Away on business, my wife would tell people.
And that is one of, like, I think the weirdest things for me, like, becoming more, I guess, like, over time. And just, the older you get, the more you kind of, like, have experience of, like, relationships just kind of ending. Like, not relationships necessarily, like, romantic, just, like, friends, family, stuff like that, like, as well. Just, like, it's weird that, like, there's not really anyone that, like, you fall out with necessarily, or there might be occasional, but most people that you, like, just end up not talking to at some point, you just kind of, like, drift apart. It's never really, like, a big drama or anything. It's just kind of, I guess I just haven't spoken to that person in, like, 8 years. And it's a weird feeling of growing up and realizing that that's the case most of the time.
That's why you have to make, like, time for friendships. Like what we did this weekend was, like, we're just gonna all hang out with friends because we hadn't done it in, like, months. And if we don't do it now, it's like gonna be more months.
And it's just that weird, like, feeling of, like, yeah, there's not really many times in my life where, like, there has, as Thane said, like, you run away or you have an argument. It's just like, yes.
How long's it been since
weird.
you talked?
10 years. He showed me some of his schoolwork and asked if we could dance crazy. We did that when he was younger.
Yeah, just like the last time I saw him, he just was, like, talking about his schoolwork.
I checked my extranet contacts. I expect an update on my next target. The console plays music, old, unfashionable.
You're like, you know what, Thane? Calm down.
Hi, Father.
Those lips, though.
I scoop him up, toss him into the air. He shrieks, laughs, spin me. The console beeps. I put him down. Click the message. Father, he pleads, tugs my sleeve. I need to read this, I say. I don't look at him.
Do we not get an explanation of what that was?
You never mentioned this before. Why now?
When my wife departed from her body.
I guess he just has, like, perfect recall or something.
To that issue. I left Kolyat in the
care
of his aunts
Loves
and
it, doesn't
uncles. I have not seen him or talked to him since.
You never went back? That's pretty damned irresponsible of you.
I told myself it was to spare him the knowledge of my body's actions. Lately, I have thought...
Like, it's so...
I have reconsidered that.
Interesting the way that
my
Thane
contacts
talks.
to trace Kolyat.
In that sense of like...
He has become... disconnected.
Oh.
He does what his body wills.
It's like when my wife left her body, I didn't want him to know what my body was doing. He is doing what his body wills.
Yep. They talk about it's like just it's a step, isn't it, for them? Is if I'm remembering Thane's people. They see like death as a step.
And like it's like almost as if their body and their person are separate entities.
You'll have to explain that one to me.
Disconnected. The body is not our true self, the soul is. Body and soul work as one in a whole person. When the soul is weakened by despair or fear, when the body is ill or injured, the individual is disconnected, no longer whole.
It's like, yeah, just a really, like, you know, interesting concept to think about of, like, not just that you have a soul, just the idea that, like, no, the soul is different from what the body wants. It's like, it's completely two different entities that have to, like, work in compromise with one another almost.
What's wrong with him? Is he hurt?
Something happened that should not have. He knows where I've been, what I've done. I don't know his reasons, but he has gone to the Citadel. He's taken a job as a hitman. I would like your help to stop him. This is not a path he should walk.
Like, I respect that. I just, you know, as a father, I don't want him to go down the path that I went down of being a hitman.
Thank you, Shepard.
I thought it would be an absolute fucking badass.
Like, it would be great if it was just, Thane is dying. Could we just, like, tell him to piss off and recruit his son? But his son isn't, like, a master hitman that Thane is. He's taking his first job.
So is your son as much of a fucking badass as you are? It's like, no. It's like, well, better stop him then.
Yeah. It would be cool, though, if you could just recruit Thane and son. Have them working as, like, a little duo together.
And then him and Samara, they team up.
Just, you could have, like, Thane plus son, Samara plus daughter. Just get that party of, like, 5 people going instead of 3. So I wonder how many missions we have. So we have the DLC are starting Liara, the Shadow Broker stuff. We have help Tali, help Thane, help Garrus, help Jacob, help Jack, help Samara, and the Project Overlord DLC as well. And then, like, we've still got all of that to do, plus maybe there might be, like, another person that still has to tell us about their loyalty mission.
My boy. That's the thing, we've still not got my fucking boy.
But we can't until we do the IFF mission, which is the thing we have to leave until later. So, I mean, who do you want to help next, Karl?
I guess help Thane, she's your boy.
Because we can help Thane and Garrus next time on the Citadel. And do, like, a similar thing of, like, with Tachanka, we did 2 loyalty missions. Next time we can do the Citadel and do the 2 loyalty missions there. I'm down for that. Get back to the Citadel for the first time in a while.
Like, if you're gonna get there, like, I want the Hanath to still be there chilling. And the Hanath for the first games be there, like, so.
That's the weird thing. I understand that they had like the excuse because the Citadel got attacked by Sovereign, but it's just how weird and unexpansive the Citadel is in comparison to the game. It feels really odd. Is that it doesn't feel like a nice thing to come back to like and wander around in like it did in the first game.
It's like 3 corridors, isn't it?
It's a few corridors and staircases with like a couple of vendors to speak to.
Which is like, you know, admittedly, it's a much more streamlined experience, not a fun one.
No, and like there was enough of a fast travel system in the first Citadel that I didn't feel the need to like want that the experience diminished in any way. Oh wow, the difference between the two Morden armors is very little.
Yeah, I guess he just goes back to his scientist ways. Gets a bit more sciencey. Like,
Yes, it just looks a little bit more sleek. But yeah, we've got what? We've got one more to acquire in terms of like recruit party member, but we got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 people who still have loyalty missions to do, and then a couple of DLCs, and then like the the kind of like the third act of the game is like, this game is so expansive. Especially when you have all the DLC, there's so much game. In a great way.
It's quite substantial, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all we're going to say is like, it's a little bit. Yeah.
And I like that because, Mass Effect 2 is my favourite of the 3. Not mad about there just being a ton of it.
Yeah, it's like it's just there's a lot.
There is.
I found references to a forgery
It's like,
named Fade in CSEC crime reports, Shepard. Perhaps that is a good place to start looking.
And like, to clarify for anyone wondering, like the DLCs aren't massively substantial. They're not Mass Effect 1 DLC where it's like one shitty mission that's like 20 minutes long, but I think they're like, a couple of, they'll probably be a stream each. If that even. But yeah, it's like, just like, here's like an extra hour or two of some interesting mission. Like, I think like the Shadow Broker one is basically just one long mission, which is pretty interesting. But it's like, it's not a massive, substantial expansion or anything.
Still interesting to see.
It is interesting to see, yeah. And yeah, we'll leave it there for today. It's a good, nice, clean way to round out. Just did Tachanka, we did the 2 missions there. We've got 2 missions to do next time at the Citadel. But yeah, thank you all for joining.
A couple of those missions will get us some boys.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's always exciting to do the loyalty missions, apart from when it's grunts and it's just shoot a Thresher more. They are some of the best and most interesting discussions and missions to have. Like,
so the entire game is built around like just the conversations, like the most memorable parts of the conversations that you have, like all the stuff with like the character we meet later.
Yeah, and just us going on like an hour-long rant about the genophage and whether it's right or wrong, because like that's a really interesting discussion, and it's like a concept that, like, even 14 years on from this game's release, I'm still, wanting to have that discussion and find nuance within it.
Yeah.
It's an excellent game, and I look forward to continuing more, but you'll have to wait until next Monday for more of Mass Effect, and I'll be back. What are we doing tomorrow? We've got more Link Between Worlds on the go. So yeah, we've done one whole stream of Link Between Worlds, and looking forward to it. But yeah, thank you, Karl, as always, for joining, and thank you everyone for watching as well. Hope everyone has a day, evening, or night, wherever you are.